Hello everyone, this is Dr. P. Mary Anupama, faculty from the Department of Biochemistry, St. Joseph's College for Women. Today let us study metabolism of aromatic amino acids. We have phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan as the aromatic amino acids. First let us see metabolism of phenylalanine and tyrosine. So you see that both of these are structurally related aromatic amino acids, of which phenylalanine, it is an essential amino acid, while tyrosine, it is non-essential amino acid. You see that the only function of phenylalanine is to get converted to tyrosine. Hence, if phenylalanine is ingested, there is no need to supplement tyrosine, and this is referred to as sparing action. Overview of phenylalanine and tyrosine metabolism. So here you can see that phenylalanine, it is converted to tyrosine. You get this from proteins and this gets incorporated into proteins. Tyrosine, it is both glucogenic as well as ketogenic. Apart from that, the most important thing is tyrosine is involved in the synthesis of melanin, dopamine, norepinephrine and epinephrine, as well as in the synthesis of thyroxine, that is T3 and as well as T4 hormones. Degradation of phenylalanine to tyrosine. The reaction is catalyzed by phenylalanine hydroxylase. Here, upon hydroxylation at the para position, phenylalanine gets converted to tyrosine. This reaction, it is an irreversible reaction and it requires the coenzyme biopterin. The tetrahydrobiopterin is converted into dihydrobiopterin, which is again recycled. So here you see phenylalanine is converted to tyrosine by the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. As in this slide we see that phenylalanine has to be converted to tyrosine and tyrosine has to be converted to other products. If any enzyme is absent in any of these conversion process, it can lead to disorders. So through dietary proteins we get both the amino acids, and if phenylalanine is not converted to tyrosine, it will be converted to other acids which will be excreted through the urine and it can result in phenylketonuria. Tyrosine has to be converted to malonyl acetoacetic acid and then to carbon dioxide and water. If not, you will also see if homogenetic acid is accumulated, you get alkaptonuria. Tyrosine has to be converted to melanin through DOPA. If not, the person will get affected and you will see it as albinism. Coming to degradation of phenylalanine and tyrosine. Initially, phenylalanine is converted to tyrosine by the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. This occurs in the liver and it is a committed step. In the next step, the tyrosine that is produced, it undergoes transamination and it gives rise to para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate. And the enzyme that catalyzes the reaction is tyrosine transaminase, which is again PLP dependent, that is pyridoxal phosphate dependent enzyme. Next, the para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate which is obtained, it is converted to homogentisate. The enzyme that is involved in this reaction is para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate dehydroxylase. Here, this is an oxidative decarboxylation step. Phenylalanine is converted to tyrosine, tyrosine to para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate, para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate to homogentisate. The benzene ring of homogentisate, it is cleaved by homogentisate oxidase to result in 4-myelyl acetoacetate. This 4-myelyl acetoacetate, it undergoes isomerization to form 4-formyl acetoacetate, and this reaction it is catalyzed by mallyl acetoacetate isomerase. Now this compound fumaryl acetoacetate, It undergoes hydrolysis catalyzed by the enzyme fumaryl acetoacetate, and this results in fumarate and acetoacetate. Here acetoacetate further gets converted to acetoacetyl CoA. So these are the steps involved in tyrosine metabolism. You have phenylalanine getting converted to tyrosine. Tyrosine, it is getting converted to para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate, then to homogentisate, then to mallyl acetoacetate, then to fumaryl acetoacetate, then you have fumarate and acetoacetate, and finally you have acetoacetyl CoA. Deficiency of enzymes at any of these steps can lead to disorders. Now let us see synthesis of compounds, other compounds from tyrosine. First is synthesis of melanin. Melanin, it is present in the melanosomes of melanocytes, and tyrosine is the precursor for melanin. The only enzyme that catalyzes this conversion is tyrosinase. You have tyrosine, which is also converted to DOPA 3,4-dihydroxyphenylalanine during this process. Let us see the sequence. Tyrosine, it is oxidized initially into L-DOPA. Now this L-DOPA, it acts as a cofactor now for tyrosinase and further gets converted to dopaquinone. Dopaquinone, it gets converted through a series of autocatalytic reactions which are non-enzymatic into leukodopachrome, followed by its conversion to 5,6-dihydroxyindole, and then finally by the tyrosinase enzyme it is converted to indole 5,6-quinone. There is another pathway also. Okay, from here this indoquinone, it moves on to melanochromes where you get melanin, the black pigment synthesis. There is alternate pathway wherein from dopaquinone, if cysteine gets incorporated, you will get the red pigment formation in the melanochromes. Biosynthesis of thyroid hormones. This takes place in the thyroid gland. They have a localized protein thyroglobulin whose tyrosine residues are iodinated. And here you see one iodine molecule can be added or two iodines can be added to the tyrosine residues. If one is added, you have monoiodotyrosine or you have diiodotyrosine which are formed. To these molecules, once these are added, to these you have diiodotyrosine residues which get added. And this, upon addition, you will get triiodothyronine and tetrahydrothyronine, which is thyroxine. Then the tyrosine residues are cleaved, which we will be seeing in the next slide. So you have triiodothyronine formed as well as thyroxine which is formed, and you see that these are still attached to thyroglobulin. Upon proteolysis, they will be released and you have T3 and T4 circulating in the blood. Then biosynthesis of catecholamines from tyrosine. Catecholamines, these are referred to as dihydroxylated phenyl ring containing compounds, and catecholamines are amine derivatives of catechol. And here these are all derived from tyrosine. Coming to the examples, important ones, we have dopamine, norepinephrine and epinephrine. Norepinephrine, it is noradrenaline, while epinephrine, it is the adrenaline. And these conversions, they all occur in adrenal medulla as well as in the central nervous system. Functions of catecholamines. Norepinephrine and epinephrine, they have very important functions in regulating carbohydrate as well as lipid metabolism. They also stimulate the degradation of triacylglycerol and then glycogen whenever person is in starvation. Next, they cause the increase in BP also, blood pressure. And finally, you see that dopamine and norepinephrine, they serve as neurotransmitters. They work as neurotransmitters in the brain as well as autonomous nervous system. This is the slide showing synthesis of epinephrine and norepinephrine from dopamine. Initially, dopamine, in the presence of ascorbic acid, it is converted to norepinephrine. This is catalyzed by the enzyme dopamine beta hydroxylase. Now, this norepinephrine is converted to epinephrine, and you see that this is methylated, and the methyl group donor is S-adenosyl methionine by the enzyme methyltransferase. Absence of dopamine can lead to Parkinson's disease. So in the metabolic pathway of tyrosine, if dopamine is not synthesized from this norepinephrine and epinephrine synthesis is not there. So absence of norepinephrine, it will lead to an neurotransmission problem, which in turn will lead to Parkinson's disease. So the symptoms include, here the people will be little lethargic, they'll have some muscular rigidity, tremors, and then they'll have this expressionless face. Their involuntary movements will also be not good. Then this can be overcome by supplementing with L-DOPA. Disorders associated with tyrosine or phenylalanine metabolism. The first one is phenylketonuria, PKU. This is due to the deficiency of the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase, which is present in the liver. And this is an autosomal recessive gene disorder. The symptoms of this disease include mental retardation, failure to properly walk, failure to talk, failure to grow, and even seizures, tremors are frequently associated with phenylketonuria. Let us see what's happening in phenylketonuria. Absence of this enzyme, that is phenylalanine hydroxylase, will affect the synthesis of tyrosine. So there is no tyrosine. This leads to accumulation of phenylalanine. Hence, phenylalanine has to be diverted to other pathways to attain that equilibrium. You will get many compounds which are formed, phenyl compounds, acids which are formed, which are again filtered by the kidneys and excreted in the urine. And this will give you a mossy odor of the urine. That is the significance or characteristic of phenylketonuria. Neonatal tyrosinemia. Here also it is the absence of the enzyme para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate dehydrogenase. But this is a temporary disorder. With the supplementation of ascorbic acid, the pathway can be stimulated and this disorder can be overcome. Alkaptonuria. It is because of the defect of the enzyme homogentisate oxidase, and homogentisate, since it's not oxidized, it accumulates in the blood and in the tissues and then it's excreted in the urine. Homogentisate, it is oxidized into other quinones and then these get polymerized to form alkapton, which imparts black color or brown color to the urine. A coke color indicates alkaptonuria. Tyrosinosis or tyrosinemia type 1. This is because of the deficiency of the enzyme fumarate acetoacetate. It's a very serious disorder actually, and it can lead to the failure of liver, it can cause rickets, renal tubular dysfunctioning as well as polyneuropathy. Now coming to what happens to tyrosine generally is, it is converted to finally fumarate and H2 acetate, and the last reaction is catalyzed by this particular enzyme. If this is not happening, the rest of the metabolites along the pathway will be accumulated, and as they are excreted through the urine, they impart cabbage-like odor. And the other symptoms include diarrhea, vomiting, etc. If neglected for more than 1 year, it can lead to death of the individual. The only remedy is decrease the intake of tyrosine and related compounds through diet. Albinism. It is the lack of the pigment melanin, and it is an autosomal recessive disorder. There are many reasons that can cause albinism. It can be mainly the deficiency of the enzyme tyrosinase, as we have seen, or it can be a decrease in melanosomes of the melanocytes, or it can be again impairment of melanin polymerization, or the protein matrix actually which holds this, it may be absent or deficient, or it can also be a limited nutritional intake of tyrosine. Anything can cause this particular disorder, but mainly it is because of the lack of the enzyme tyrosinase. In albinism, the entire body is becoming white because of the absence of melanin. They are colorless, I should say. Coming to hypopigmentation, here there is a decrease in the production of melanin. It is because of mutation in the gene. And there are two types of hypopigmentations, vitiligo and leukoderma, which are important. Coming to vitiligo, it is again a progressive disease where it starts, the hypopigmentation starts at the mouth, at the nose, and even at the eyes, at the nipples, and so on. Slowly the pigmentation, that is whitening, starts. Progressive decrease in pigmentation starts. So you can see white around the eyes. But when it comes to leukoderma, it starts with the hands. From the hands, you can see slow decrease in pigmentation, and then slowly it spreads. While whitening of hair, it is due to the lack of synthesis of melanin at the melanocytes of the hair roots. Now we shall see tryptophan metabolism. Tryptophan, it is another aromatic amino acid. It is glucogenic as well as ketogenic in nature, and then it is the precursor for the synthesis of both NAD and NADP+. Here you can see tryptophan, it is glucogenic and ketogenic. It is incorporated into proteins. It is converted to indoalestic acid. It is required for NAD+ and NADP+. Then it is also required for serotonin, from which you get melatonin. The metabolism of tryptophan, it is divided into two. You have two pathways, kynurenine pathway and serotonin pathway. Coming to the kynurenine pathway, this pathway, it occurs in the liver, and here tryptophan is finally oxidized to kynurenine, and kynurenine becomes the branch point. Here we have some few prominent steps wherein the kynurenine, it is getting converted to 3-hydroxykynurenine, which is then converted to xanthurenate. You have xanthurenate which is formed. If xanthurenate is found in the urine, it indicates B6 deficiency. Kynurenine pathway of degradation of tryptophan. So tryptophan, it is initially converted to N-formyl kynurenine by a pyrrolase, tryptophan pyrrolase, and then finally to kynurenine. This kynurenine, it is a branch point wherein from this many compounds can be produced. You have kynurenate which can be produced, as well as you have alanine which can be produced from this kynurenine. Kynurenine, it is converted to 3-hydroxykynurenine by a hydroxylase which is NADP dependent. This 3-hydroxykynurenine can be converted to xanthurenate. And here you can see 3-hydroxykynurenine. In the normal pathway, it gets converted to 3-hydroxyanthranilate. And here alanine is produced. 3-hydroxyanthranilate is now oxidized into muconate semialdehyde. This muconate semialdehyde, it can be diverted by a carboxylase into picolinate. The 2-amino 3-carboxy muconate semialdehyde, it can take up two pathways. One that will end up in the synthesis of NAD plus and NADP plus, while the other one which can end up in the formation of acetyl-CoA. So here spontaneously this gets converted into quinolinate and then into nicotinate mononucleotide. While here you can see that it is decarboxylation which is taking place and you get 2-amino muconate semialdehyde which is formed, followed by its conversion dehydrogenation resulting in 2-amino muconate, from which you get glutaril-CoA and then finally acetyl-CoA synthesis. Serotonin pathway. Serotonin is 5-hydroxytryptamine which acts as a neurotransmitter and it is produced by the intestinal cells. So tryptophan, it is first hydroxylated at the 5th carbon by a tryptophan hydroxylase. And here the cofactor which is required is tetrahydrobiopterin. And this 5-hydroxytryptophan, it is decarboxylated by a decarboxylase to give rise to serotonin. Importance of serotonin. Serotonin, it's a neurotransmitter. It is a very powerful vasoconstrictor, that is, it constricts the blood vessels and it results in the contraction of even smooth muscles of bronchioles and even the arterioles and so on. It also controls the behavioral pattern of a person, the sleeping pattern of a person, because it will result in melatonin. Then it controls blood pressure, body temperature, etc. This also evokes the release of the peptide hormone from gastrointestinal tract by people, and it is also necessary for the motility of the peristaltic motility of the gastrointestinal tract. So this is the pathway, serotonin pathway. Tryptophan, it is initially converted to 5-hydroxytryptophan. You have tryptophan hydroxylase catalyzing the reaction. Then this 5-hydroxytryptophan, it is decarboxylated by the same enzyme into serotonin. It is an oxidative decarboxylation reaction which is taking place here. Tryptophan is converted to 5-hydroxytryptophan and then to serotonin. Apart from this, tryptophan can be deaminated resulting in indole 3-pyruvate, and tryptophan can be decarboxylated resulting in tryptamine. So we have indole 3-pyruvate, tryptamine as well as serotonin. The indole 3-pyruvate, it is again decarboxylated to give rise to indole acetate which is excreted in the urine. Then the tryptamine which is produced, this is deaminated again to give rise to indole acetate which is also excreted in the urine. So tryptophan, here it is initially deaminated, decarboxylated, while here it is decarboxylated and then deaminated to give rise to indole acetate. The serotonin which is produced here, either it may end up as 5-hydroxyindole acetate after deamination, or this can be converted to N-acetyl serotonin. You see that acetyl-CoA is involved, coenzyme A is released, and you get N-acetyl serotonin which is produced. From this N-acetyl serotonin you have melatonin production. Melatonin, it regulates our behavioral pattern, our day and night pattern. Biosynthesis of aromatic amino acids. This is done by primarily through shikimate pathway. Here the first enzyme of shikimate pathway is 3-deoxy-D-arabino heptylosinate 7-phosphate synthase. This particular enzyme, it causes condensation of phosphoenol pyruvate with erythrose 4-phosphate to result in 3-deoxy-D-arabino heptylosinate 7-phosphate. Next, this 3-deoxy-D-arabino heptylosinate 7-phosphate, it is converted to 3-hydroquinate by the enzyme 3-hydroquinate synthase. And from this, you have shikimate which is produced by the enzyme shikimate 5-dehydrogenase. From shikimate, after series of reactions, you get chorismate. So chorismate, it is the terminal metabolite of the shikimate pathway that after again some series of reactions, series of metabolite formations will result in the 3 aromatic amino acids. Erythrose 4-phosphate condenses with phosphoenol pyruvate to produce 3-deoxy-D-arabino heptylosinate 7-phosphate. This is our shikimate pathway. Now after series of reactions, this DAHP is converted to shikimate and shikimate is converted to chorismate. Chorismate, it can take up 2 paths. One that is resulting in the formation of anthranilate. Anthranilate, after few series of steps, get converted into our aromatic amino acid tryptophan. Or chorismate may take up another pathway which will result in arogenate. From this arogenate, we'll get tyrosine and phenylalanine. This synthesis, this shikimate pathway synthesis, it takes place in plants. These are some references which I have seen. Apart from U. Satyanarayana, you have Science Direct where you have an article for synthesis of these aromatic amino acids and images, sources. Few more sources which are used in the preparation of this video. Thank you.